Geraldine Randallson from Creative Cutters at www.creativecutters.com. Today I am going to show you how we cover a cake, a square cake actually, with fondant. How we color the fondant, what we use underneath the cake, and once covered we shall go on to show you how to use 4 of our different 30 designs of quilters. This is a non-stick rolling pin. We recommend something like this or a wooden rolling pin. If you're using a wooden rolling pin, please lightly grease it with Crisco before you use it. I do not recommend a marble rolling pin as it is too cold. This is a shaker with powdered sugar or icing sugar in. This is our square styro. This is our board. This is pipe and jelly to attach the sugar paste or fondant. This is 1.5 pounds of fondant or sugar paste. This is a palette knife to put the pipe and jelly on. This is a sander because you have to sand down the edges of a styro cake so that it doesn't cut like a knife when you cover it with the fondant. This is powdered food colors. These are the 2 side scrapers that we use to smooth down the fondant. The reason I'm showing you this, if you get a side scraper with color on, please note the color will come off onto your paste. So this, as you can see how much red has come off, so try to buy just plain white ones. And these are some of the different designs of our side markers or quilters that we have developed over the last 15 years. Fondant that I've kneaded up, and I'm just going to sprinkle on a little bit of food powder color. And the reason we use the powdered colors is it blends beautifully into your sugar paste or fondant, and is also excellent for coloring your icings. It's excellent for coloring white chocolate. This is a new mat, and when you use the large mats you need a little bit of powdered sugar sprinkled on. We never use cornstarch because cornstarch is a drying agent, and that will give you elephant skin on your sugar paste. I have thinned down the pipe and jelly so that if we make a mistake we can always take it off and start again. If you don't thin it down, it acts like a stiff glue and you'll never be able to get the fondant off the board or off of the styro. Put a very little on. You sort of put it on and take it off. That is very important because the more you have on there, the more it will create air bubbles underneath. Take your rolling pin, and I like to roll it out 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Drop it over the rolling pin like that. Turn it around, and if it's sticking slightly to the rolling pin, just dust it lightly with powdered sugar. As you can see, this is good size. So we pick this up in half. Pick it up like a towel method. Put it down on your board. Go straight across. And if you're short like there, just roll to the shortness on the board. And that covers it up. If you've got a few bubbles, take a pin, go in from the side, never from straight on, and work that towards you, and that will disappear. Now we're going to pick that up, and with our bench scraper we're going to cut that off. Now you're going to ask me, how do I know if that's going to be big enough? I always like to measure the shortest part, because I know if that's the shortest part, and then I will hold this against my styro, and as you can see that is sufficient to cover it. So I'm going to pick it up, the towel method again, like that. Try not to touch the styro. If you do, wipe it on a wet cloth or on your uniform. Make certain this is roughly even. Make certain it touches the table in front of you, and take it straight across. If you're a little bit short, like I am at the side here, roll to where you're short and your fondant will stretch down so that you'll be fine. Before you do anything else, roll over the top, then put your rolling pin down, then grab the sides, and then pull this out, cup your hands, and pull it down. What causes it to crack is the weight here is pulling it down. So many times before I do anything, I will get rid of the extra, so that way it cannot pull it down to give you the cracking on the top. Okay, now I take my bench scraper and cut it off at an angle so it goes into the bottom. I take 2 of the bench scrapers and now I will work around the sides, pressing it and smoothing it at the same time so it sticks to your cake. If you're doing this on a real cake, you have to put buttercream underneath, and I found it's most important to let the buttercream firm up in the refrigerator on the cake before you decide to cover it. Try and center it on your cake board. And that is lesson 1 on how we cover cakes with fondant and how we color them.